and you don't know much about running this station, apparently. A little technical difficulty there, but welcome to Joe the Shirts Off the Cuff. Today's music brought to you by Bosco and Peck, and their first song, Ain't It Strange, which actually I kind of dug a little bit. It got a little funk to it, kind of a white boy funk kind of thing to it. You know, it's White Boy Day. Did you know that? It's White Boy Day. Mm-hmm. Welcome back, everybody, to Joe the Shirts Off the Cuff. That is I. This is me on the Inappropriate Conversation station. That is the station that my buddy and I came up with together. We did split off. I maintain rights, but if he wants to use it, I use the name. I don't care. We still see each other. We're still good pals, you know. But it's Inappropriate Conversation, and this is Joe the Shirts Off the Cuff on the Inappropriate Conversation station. Trying desperately to expand my list of shows, but you know what it is? It's difficult, I've noticed, to get people out of their comfort zones. You know what I mean? Because I've approached a few people that I find to be interesting, that I find to be intelligent, and decently well enough spoken, so that I've offered them their own opportunity to do a show on the Inappropriate Conversation station, and they greeted it with interest, and at the same time a little reservation, you know, because most of these people are not people that are known for being in the public spotlight. Not that, like, you know, all 30 of you out there represent the public necessarily, but, you know, it's difficult. You know, this is a difficult job. I mean, I know a lot of you listen in and you're thinking to yourself, oh, look, Joe's on again. He's babbling about God knows what. But you know what? I want you to, try this sometime. Sit in your room one day and just talk for 45 minutes about things that you think other people will find interesting. I will guarantee you would not believe how difficult it really can be, all right? Believe it or not, I actually take some time to prepare for this show. You know, I do some research, I go online, I go through the paper, you know, I talk to people, I ask questions. You know, sometimes I bring in guests, sometimes I have a co-host, you know, but it's not easy, and I get it, you know. And to all of you people out there that I've asked to maybe consider doing a show, really reconsider. I know it's scary, okay, and I know that I'm not offering you to pay you anything, okay. I'm not making any money on this. I'm doing this to keep the demons in my head, you know, at bay, you know, but. I would like it if, you know, you guys could, you know, if you were interested, you know, reach out to me at Joe the Shirts Off the Cuff, the Inappropriate Conversation on Facebook. You can reach me at joetheshirt@yahoo.com. Email me, you know, just let me know if there's anything that you think you would like to talk about. If there are topics you'd like to talk about, if you would want to do your own show under my banner, I can teach you how to do this. If you have no idea how to do this, I can teach you how to do it. You know, it's really not that difficult, but just like anything new, until you learn the steps involved, it is a little daunting, okay? I mean, when I first started doing this, I was absolutely terrified to push a couple of buttons. You know, now I don't even think about it, but that's because I've been doing it now for well over 2 years. And before that, as you know, I was a stand-up comic for almost 20 years. So talking is what I do. So any of you guys out there, if you ever think to yourself, you know what, I'd like to do a show as well, I think I got something I want to talk about, contact me, talk to me, you know, reach out to me, and we can probably figure something out. You know, it could be that we can do a show where you're on with me on the phone and see if it's something that you're into. It could be that you suck. It's very possible. Hell, and by the way, sucking does not stop me from doing what I do. Anyway. Oh, what is going on in the world? I usually wait to do this, but let's do celebrity birthdays right now because I want to get them out of the way. How about that? How's that sound to you guys? Let's see. If your birthday is today, November 12th, you share birthdays with NBA power forward Corey Maggette. Ryan Gosling is 33. Corey Maggette is 34. Anne Hathaway and her breasts are 31 years old. Actually, I'm willing to guess her breasts are closer to about 18 years old. Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder is 25 years old. The one and only Neil Young is 68. MLB great Sammy Sosa is 45 years old. Wallace Shawn is 70. Now, a lot of you guys are thinking, well, who the fuck is Wallace Shawn? You know what? You've seen him. If you ever watched Star Trek DS9, he's the guy that played the Grand Nagus. There's a nerd reference for you, okay? And a bunch of other things but you know what? If you saw The Princess Bride, he was the Italian guy that got into a battle of wits with the hero, Carrie Elways. That's who that is. Tanya Harding is 43. You may remember her. She was famous for trying to take out the competition by getting her fat, stupid boyfriend to break, I think it was Nancy Kerrigan's legs with a crowbar. Sitcom star and actually a daytime talk show host, Megan Mullally, is 55 years old. And the one and only, the irrepressible, the unmatchable Charles Manson is 79 years old. Now, at this point, do we really consider Charles Manson a threat to society? Man's almost 80. Most people don't even know who the fuck he is. Fucking Charlie, though. Still crazy after all these years, baby. Now, now this is something that's a little near and dear to my heart. A couple of guys were recently arrested here in Los Angeles for under suspicion of murder for a posting they put up on Craigslist. Apparently, a man and his son, Roth and Thomas, were wrong guys. Balbuena was the victims. Man and his son were looking to buy a cell phone. Man was looking to buy a cell phone for his son, and they saw there was a Samsung Galaxy up for sale, and he went to this very sketchy neighborhood to go purchase this phone. When they were bum rushed by a couple of guys, shot at. Father was shot and killed. I believe the son was injured. And apparently this is something that these guys have been doing for a while now. Apparently it fit the MO of several robberies in that neighborhood, but this was the first time that anybody had gotten killed. And this scares the shit out of me because I'm looking to sell some stuff on Craigslist right now. You may have seen my posts on Facebook looking to sell a heavy bag, a golf set of golf club irons, a couple of old USB microphones, let's see, espresso maker, and oh my god, and a poker table top. So, anyway, if you guys are interested in buying that, let me know, man. Just email me, Facebook me, let me know. Oh my god, what's going on out there? God, I don't know where to start. It's so. You know what? Let's start out with a little business news. You guys familiar with a man by the name of Young Lee? Doesn't sound familiar to you? Well, Young Lee is the guy that co-founded the frozen yogurt company, Pinkberry. And if you've ever been to a Pinkberry, they're really cute, aren't they? They're bright and they're colorful, and you got all these frozen yogurts and toppings and all this stuff. Well, apparently, he was recently convicted of beating a homeless man with a tire iron while the victim was panhandling on East Hollywood Street. Young Lee, 49 years old, was also declared a significant threat to the community because he had threatened a witness at his trial. Now, you look at the picture of this guy, and you do not see violent criminal. You see a guy in black horn-rimmed glasses, little Korean dude with a bow tie. And at no point do you think this guy is a monster. But apparently what had happened was that Lee and his, I think, then fiance were driving down the street with a friend of theirs when, while at a stoplight, the victim, let's see if we got his name here. Let's see. See, what was the victim's name? God damn it, I have it here someplace. Well, you know what? I'll find it as soon as I can. Oh, Bolding, a man named Bolding. Bolding was a homeless man who had made a stick figure screw symbol with his hands at Lee's car. Basically, what he did was he put he did an OK sign and then took his pointer finger of his other hand and shoved it inside of the hole in the OK sign, meaning, fuck or fuck you or whatever the hell that means to anybody, actually. Lee then drove away from the scene, drove back, took out a tire iron, and just started to wail on this guy. According to this... Let's see, according to this, the jury of 6 men and 6 women found young Lee guilty Friday of beating Donald Boulding, a homeless man, with a tire iron after Boulding flashed a tattoo of stick figure couples having sex to the people in Lee's car, which included his fiancée. Lee drove away, then returned with another man who had been in the car. He then beat Boulding. Quote, I think there was a sense of entitlement felt by the defendant to the point where he felt that he was disrespected by someone he believed to be below him. Boulding suffered a broken left forearm and several cuts to the head during the attack in June 2011. Anyway, like I said, look up Young Lee online, and you would not believe that this is the guy that founded, ran Pinkberry, and then at the same time just beat a homeless guy with a tire iron. All because he felt disrespected. Now, apparently this guy has a history with the law. In 2001, he was charged with a felony count of possession of cocaine and 2 misdemeanor counts for the beating of a spouse. In 2010, a person who described himself as a former friend of Lee asked for a restraining order against him after he showed up unannounced at the man's home and threatened him in Korean. The man said that Lee had an extremely violent temper and at once even swung a knife at him. Wow, you just never know who it is you're really dealing with, do you? Really never do. Now, moving from business to politics for just a little bit. Now, as I mentioned earlier last week, the British are pissed off that we're spying, and French are pissed off that we're spying on them. The Mexicans are pissed off they're spying on them. The Germans are pissed off that we're spying on them. They're all like up in an uproar and outraged that we're spying on them. Of course, that ignores the fact that they're probably spying on us too. Now, what I think is refreshing is Israel. Basically, Israel is saying, so? Basically, Israel is saying, how did you not believe that the United States wasn't spying on you? How did you believe this for even a second, that the U.S. was not spying on its allies? Israel is basically saying, yeah, we believe it. We pretty much knew it. We were pretty confident they were spying on us the entire time. And pretty confident they were spying on everybody else, not just their enemies or their frenemies, but their friends as well. And and Israel is basically, well, how could you not know this? I would love to see an Israeli at at some world conference just going, how did you not know this? How did you not know that the United States was spying on you? How did you not know this? You know what? You did not know this? You are too stupid to be running a country. You are too stupid. No, listen, my friend, listen to me. You are too stupid to be running a country if you did not believe that the United States was spying on you. I can't even talk to you anymore. I can't. And that's basically where Israel leaves it off. We're going to take a break right now and go off with some more Bosco and Peck and their song, Blood. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back.
I'm standing with this gun in my hand. I'm looking around for some place to run. I'm staring in a selfish trance. Oh God, what have I done? Well, I've been searching in myself, and what is done I just can't help. I know they'll never understand.
I can't see how this gun got
This is my hand, I was dealt in. I'm doing the best I can. I didn't kill that man, though I'm standing in a pool of his blood. Please help me in, please God, help me. Don't get me out of this hole that I've dug. Someone help me cover it up. I'm searching this house for plastic bags. Maybe a mop will help me stop this flood. I'm cleaning it up with paper towels and rags. How can one head make so much blood? And I've been searching in myself. What is done, I just can't help. I know they never understand.
I can't see how this gun got
This is a hand I was dealt in. I'm doing the best I can. I didn't kill that man, though I'm standing in a pool of his blood. Please help me in. Please God, help me. Lord, get me out of this hole that I've dug. Someone help me cover it up.
Oh, and Joe the Shirt is off the cuff. Welcome back, everybody. People just take offense at the silliest things, don't they? Now, one of the things that are happening locally here in California is a school mascot is, getting people upset because people are finding that the mascot is offensive to some cultures and religions, and really a step backward in where we're trying to go in this great nation of ours of acceptance and tolerance. The Coachella Valley High School mascot, also known as the Arab, is being said that reinforces ethnic stereotypes. Civil rights group is urging Coachella Valley High School to eliminate its official mascot, the Arab, saying that the school is reinforcing ethnic stereotypes. In a letter sent November 1st to Coachella Valley United School District Superintendent, the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee writes that the caricature perpetuates demeaning stereotypes of Arabs and Arab Americans. The Arab is a man with a large nose and a heavy beard wearing a kafiyeh, also known as the traditional Arab head covering, the letter says. At sporting events, a student dressed as the mascot makes an appearance with a woman dressed as a belly dancer performing next to him, and the mascot is featured prominently at the school's athletic facilities. The mascot dates back to the 1920s when the school began competing in athletics and was adopted to recognize the importance of the date industry in the area. Yes, Arabs and dates. That's what they were trying to put together. It also fit in perfectly with the neighboring towns of, now this, I'm not making this up now, okay? Coachella Valley, who uses the mascot known as the Arab. Their neighboring towns are Thermal, Arabia, Oasis, and Mecca. I wish I could be making that up, but no, seriously. Thermal, Arabia, Oasis, and Mecca are in the same basic area as Coachella Valley and their mascot, the Arab. Oh, my God. Now, this comes also in light of the fact that the Washington Redskins are considering changing the name of their team as well to be more culturally sensitive to Native Americans. To which I say, well, you find me two Native Americans, and I'll listen to them talk about it. I'm sorry. I don't think that the Redskins is necessarily an offensive image. Okay, I'm looking at the picture of the Arab here. Maybe he is. But the idea... It's such a funny picture. The Arab with neighboring towns, Mecca, Oasis, and Arabia. Oh, my God. Oh, God, that hurts. Oh, my God. Let's see. According to this, according to them, respecting the heritage and paying homage to the heritage could be done in a way that is not offensive. Well, they're not trying to not be offensive. They're trying to look tough and mean and scary, and this guy, the Arab, fits the bill. But I suppose that's really not doing anything for, American-Arab relations over there in Coachella Valley. But does that mean that they're going to change the names of their towns? I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people of Arab, culturally Arab or of a Muslim or Islam faith that don't like the fact that some place is named Mecca in Southern California. And which brings us all, hold on now, to football. Football. A lot of talk going on about football. Normally I don't talk about sports all that much, especially sports I know nothing about, which is, of course, football. I know nothing about football, really, other than the fact that I gamble on it. But it seems like in this country the term bullying is just raging out of control. I mean, people are being bullied not just physically in schools or on the street, but also on the internet, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Pinterest. People are getting bullied everywhere possible, and people are either killing themselves or killing their friends and family and classmates and coworkers, and it's spread now to the NFL. You may have heard about Richie Incognito. Richie Incognito is a 300-pound guy who plays for the Miami Dolphins, or at least he did until quite recently, because he was put on suspension, no return date determined, due to bullying. Now, in the NFL and in most professional sports teams, hell, most college sports teams, most high school sports teams, even junior high school sports teams, and to some level, even, pee-wee leagues, there's something known as hazing. There's even hazing in fraternities. You may have heard a couple of years ago about was it a marching band hazing that resulted in the death of a member of the marching band. Hazing is a very long-standing tradition in American sports, fraternities, clubs. Hazing is demeaning and embarrassing a potential new member to get them to do a few things. One, to determine whether or not how much they really, really want to be part of the group. Also, to solidify the relationship between the new members and the old members, because we've all done it. Okay, look, I know that we're forcing you to carry a Bing Cherry in between your butt cheeks and plop it into a shot glass 30 feet away, but hey, I did it, Jim did it, Corey did it, we all did it, dude. So you do it, and then we'll know you're one of us, okay? A lot of times in our professional sports teams, the rookie on the team is expected to carry the bags for the more experienced players. And every once in a while, some rookie will say, hey, I got hired to play football. I got hired to play baseball, not to carry your bags. And in those cases, those rookies will tend to get screwed over a different way. Like I've heard about players who refuse to carry the older players' bags, and then when they all went out, that rookie player got stuck for a $40,000 bill at a restaurant or a bar because all the other players just put it on his tab. You better learn how to be a team player. Okay, not just when you're playing on the field, but when together. You're a rookie, you got to pay your dues, all right? That's called hazing. It's not called bullying, which is what they're calling it here. Now, let me read this to you. You guys tell me what you think. Now, this is a phone call. This is a message from Richie Incognito to the man he was allegedly bullying, I believe a gentleman by the name of Martin. Jonathan Martin, yes. Jonathan Martin. This is the message he sent to him. Okay, quote. Now, this is not me talking. This is the quote. So don't lose your mind on me. Quote. Hey, what's up, you half nigger piece of shit? I saw you on the Twitter. You've been training 10 weeks. I want to shit in your fucking mouth. I'm going to slap your fucking mouth. I'm going to slap your real mother across the face. Ha ha. Fuck you. You're still a rookie. I'll kill you. End quote. Now, I don't see what's the problem. Okay, now, look, all right, I get it. If you're a CPA and somebody sends this message to you, there's a problem. If you're a lawyer at a firm, somebody sends you this message, there's a problem. If, you work at a restaurant as a waiter and your bartender sends you this, there's a problem. But is it as much of a problem in a profession like the NFL, professional sports, football, basketball, baseball, hockey? These are typically known, professional athletes are not like the rest of us, okay? First of all, physically, they're not. They tend to be bigger, stronger, faster, all right? They also tend to have a very different mindset when it comes to what they can do with their bodies. When you have an intellectual guy that wants to be a neurosurgeon or an astrophysicist or a judge or lawyer or president, when you have a guy that really uses his brain in a certain way, these guys are incredibly competitive people. And they are competitive in a way that most people never even think of being. To the point where most people think that it's immoral what they do. The same applies to athletes. Athletes are competitive in a way that the vast majority of us have no real inkling about. The closest I think you can ever really get is, without being a professional athlete, is think of a game or a sport that you used to play with your best friend or your brother or your sister, whether it was basketball or Scrabble or Monopoly or whatever, but something that you played with somebody else where it was your only goal in life to beat them, where every time you beat them, it was just a cry to heaven of joy, and every time they beat you, you just kicked yourself the entire rest of the fucking week. You just hated the fact that they beat you at this particular thing because as far as you're concerned, you are better than they are. That is the mindset that athletes have. They have the mindset that they are better than everybody else. They have the mindset that they should be better than everybody else and that everybody else should respect them. And you know what? That's a healthy mindset for a competitive athlete. Okay? I was once talking to a friend of mine. He was a 5th degree black belt, and he was my buddy Keith, and he was going to a karate tournament. And I asked him, so you think you're going to win? And he's like, yeah, of course. I'm like, really? There's going to be like 100 guys there. You think you're going to win? And he said to me, well, it does me no good to think the other way. And that's exactly it. You have to believe that you're going to win. Every time that you compete, every time that you get on that field or get on that court, you have to believe that you're going to win. You can't go in there thinking, I hope I win. I think I can win. Or, gee, I'm probably going to lose. Well, you know what? Psychologically speaking, that sets you up to lose. So when it comes to competitive athletes, these guys have a very, very different way of thinking than most of us do, And I will continue to explore that when we get back. This is Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff, and this is Bosco and Peck and their song, Look Me in the Eye.
Told me as a child, better to give than receive. But you're throwing away everything I gave to you. And I don't know what to believe. No, I can't decide if living is worth all the life it's taken for suicide. It's making me feel alright. home as I hear it from you on the telephone. I can't believe it happened to me now. You're talking to me like you made of stone. Looking around, something's wrong.
Hey, what's up, you half nigger piece of shit? I saw you on Twitter. You've been training 10 weeks. I want to shit in your fucking mouth. I'm going to slap your fucking mouth. I'm going to slap your real mother across the face. Ha ha. Fuck you. You're still a rookie. I'll kill you. Once again, that's the quote from Richie Incognito to Jonathan Martin on a text message. One of many, apparently, and apparently phone calls as well. Now, Richie Incognito of the Miami Dolphins is a 9-year veteran who was brought on the team with a checkered past of, issues with coaches and officials, known as a bit of a bad boy, a bit of a badass, a bad seed, if you might want to call him that. But he was also put on the Miami Dolphins Leadership Council, and it was his job to toughen up the young players. That's what people believe. He was basically instructed by upper management to make the new guys tougher, to be tough on them so they can be tougher on the field. To make sure that they know that it is their fucking job to be tough. Because when you're playing sports, especially a sport that is as physically demanding, painful, grueling, and possibly deadly as football, that the guy next to you's got your back. Now, I have a quote here from one Kyle Turley, who's also not exactly known as a nice guy, 10-year veteran of the NFL. And he looks at this case from Incognito's point of view, which is, here's the quote anyway. Quote, I took on the leadership role, Turley said. The coaches gave me those reins. I'm sure in this situation, not to justify the rhetoric or terminology Incognito used, but I understand it was the role that was given to him. It's absurd for the real world to accept this, and nobody should, but this is not the real world. This is football. Incognito is at the center of a league investigation into the Dolphins and is accused of harassing and threatening fellow offensive lineman Martin, a second-year tackle who walked away from the team last week with voice and text message that included racial slurs. Incognito, a 9-year veteran with a history of being kicked off teams, is a member of the Dolphins Leadership Council. Quote, what Incognito has done on the line since he's been in Miami is he's proven himself to be worthy of the role, said Turley, who, like Incognito, was considered among the NFL's dirtiest players during his 10-year career. Quote, the coaches apparently enlisted him to be the leader of that offensive line. This is your line now. We need you to get these guys in shape and together. The culture is to direct players, they say. You're the leader. We need you. We're the coaches. We don't play the game. These guys need to respect you. It's your duty. Now, receiver Mike Wallace said, I know both of those guys personally. I like both of them. I love Richie. I think he's a great guy, and I don't think he was out of hand. I have a lot of respect for Richie. I wish he was here. Here's another quote here. I think if you had asked John Martin a week before who his best friend on the team was, he would have said Richie Incognito, said Tainhill. The first guy to stand up for Jonathan when anything went down on the field, any kind of tussle, Richie was the first guy there. When we would hang out off the field, outside football, who was together? Richie and John. I'm not in those guys' shoes. I can't explain what's going on. But you know what? Look, you know what? Nobody is ever going to defend Richie Incognito for using the term nigger. No one's going to excuse that one. But you know what? In a locker room environment, especially for you ladies out there are things that are done and said in a locker room that you are never, ever going to see anywhere else, okay? It makes a bachelor party look like bullshit, okay? So, for normal human beings, yeah, you know, it's true. This is unacceptable behavior. But for a culture that is based on based on competition and violence. This is normal. This is more than acceptable. And in a lot of ways, I think that Jonathan Martin is being a pussy. I do. I'm sorry. How can you expect to be a tackle on NFL football team and be intimidated by what one of your teammates is saying and doing? How are you going to do your job if you can't handle a little psychological warfare with the guy that everybody else thought was your friend? Now, I don't know what this exact personal relationship between the two of them was. It could be that it was a lot colder and more distant than anybody can really understand. But even if it was, you're a professional football player. Now, I've talked to a buddy of mine who did play football in high school, and he said that was the way they dealt with each other back in high school. You know, he was brutalized by older players, and he brutalized younger players, and it was accepted. This is something that happens in the military quite often. All right? If any of you that watched A Few Good Men should understand what I'm talking about here. This is something that happens. I mean, officially speaking, yes, you're not supposed to actually touch the soldier in front of you. You're not supposed to actually touch your teammate, you know, in a violent way, or a way that he finds unwelcoming. But everything else, I mean, in that type of culture is really quite acceptable. And for the most part, you know, for the longest time, sports kept it under wraps. They kept it a secret, their dirty little secret. You know, that their little circle of macho-ness and violence, and that was fine. But with the modern age, the way it is, anything you do and say can be up on YouTube or Instagram or Pinterest, like within minutes. All right? I'm trying to remember the name of the football player now who was at a game. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but he was a white guy, blonde, who at one point was caught on camera saying, you know, that he would beat the living shit out of every nigger in the place. And I was like, well, dude, you can't say things like that. But he said it. And he played for the Philadelphia Eagles, actually. And I still can't remember his name. But, you know, even Michael Vick, according to the papers, forgave him. He says that he doesn't believe that he's a bad guy. He doesn't believe that he's really a racist. But he understands the mindset, I think, of a person that is in that position, that competitive, that way of thinking, that culture that he grows up in, that certain words and expressions don't hold the same meaning for them that it does for the rest of us. I'm just saying. Oh my God, I got so much more to talk about, and I'm running out of time on the quick side. Okay, let's see if I can get this done in the next 6 minutes, okay? One of the biggest things that I've been reading about lately is how the fact that, according to all the polls, people don't seem to understand why is it there are no black people on primetime TV. I mean, you watch your average drama, comedy, whatever, and at best, black people are window dressing. They're side characters. They're almost never main characters. They're almost never title characters. You know, they're never what the story is about. You watch a show like my girlfriend. She watches Scandal, and the lead character is a black woman, which is about as rare as a pony sucking off a rainbow. Okay, that's how rare that is. Okay, that's the exception to the rule right there. But when you look at the flip side of that, you watch daytime TV, African Americans everywhere. Queen Latifah, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer. I mean, loads of blacks. Obviously, Oprah Winfrey. What's it? Oh God, what's the name of that supermodel? I'm trying to remember. Tyra, whatever. Remember. But daytime TV loves ethnic minorities. Can't get enough of it. You watch The View. Half of them are like Asian and black, or dying of being Jewish. Who knows? But for some reason, it doesn't translate to primetime TV. And the reason why it doesn't translate to primetime TV is because of how the people that work in TV are trying to sell TV. Okay, daytime TV is cheap to make. Whether it's a game show, a talk show, or even a soap opera, it's cheap. All right? It's super cheap to make, super cheap to produce, and it's really geared towards American audiences. Whereas when you do a primetime show, a comedy, a drama, what have you, they're not just making it for us. They're making it so they can sell it to, say, Germany, England, Spain, Australia, and then they are guessing that Germany, England, Australia doesn't want to see a lot of black people. And it's not really surprising to me because really, truly, one of the scariest things any white person can ever see at night is a black person. I'm sorry, I had to do it. Oh, I know, all my black friends are going to kick my ass when they see me. Oh, my God. Okay. And finally, let's see if I can get this out in 4 minutes. Okay. Now, you guys remember Chick-fil-A, how about a year or so ago, they got into all this trouble because they donated money to basically anti-gay businesses, groups that were trying to keep what they considered the normal American family unit together. Okay, they were anti-gay, is what they were saying. And in my opinion, I was like, well, so what? They have every right to donate money to whoever the fuck they want. I don't care. It doesn't affect the taste of the chicken. And they did not have anti-gay policies in their restaurants, be it hiring or serving. As a matter of fact, when gay protesters went to Chick-fil-A's and protested them in the middle of the summer, they came out and, Chick-fil-A offered them like lemonade and water, because it was hot. Personally, I honestly really don't care. But there's a lot of talk going on as to whether or not a corporation is considered an individual. The Supreme Court has endowed corporations with the right to have their voices heard via unrestrained spending on political campaigns. In the Citizens United decision of 2010, basically they're saying that as a corporation is really an individual, not a political entity, not a company, but an individual, and that they can donate money to political campaigns as an individual, unrestricted. If you're an individual, say you're Bill Gates, and you decide to donate $1 billion to the GOP, you can donate $1 billion to the GOP if you want. But if you're Microsoft, for a time there, people would look at you differently. Same basic entity, but not. Now, what's going on now is the debate as to whether or not a corporation as an individual, do they have the right to, I don't want to use the word enforce, but in a way it is enforce their religious views on how they do business. This goes to, oh my God, you know what? I've got to hold on to that one. I can't get this far into it right now. It's just too much. You know what? I'm sorry to, tease you guys like that. That's the tease. We're going to talk about whether or not religious corporations have the right to dictate how they do business. In any case, thank you for listening. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm Off the Cuff. And please go see my buddy Paul Ashton's movie, This Isn't Funny. As soon as it comes out, I posted the quick little short there for you on Facebook. And here is more Bosco and Peck and their song, I'm Not Right, and neither am I, because I'm Joe the Shirt, and I'm Off the Cuff.
Section number 4, behind a barbed wire fence and 2 brick walls. I see you thinking something about the night before they left the